Alright guys, so camera was dead and I kind of went ahead and started doing everything. So like I said, you take this whole thing off. All right, there's a 10 millimeter here, one behind the seat, and then you have two of them right here. Use something like this or panel popper and kind of reach below here, pop it out, and another one over there. Two screws right here on each side, and one right here which will be around this area, and one on the other side which grips onto this right here, and one behind. Just move the seat forward on both sides, and then you can kind of lift this up, move it back. And if you have the big horn, it should it should only have these two cables right here. Mine came with these two cables. Just pop them off from here, take it out from here, so that way you can move this back. And then what I did right here, you have two that are there. I think you have four that are short, and two of those I ran to here because what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just run through this trim right here. Same thing on the other side. And then two of the other short ones I ran right below this. Just pull up the carpet forward this way, run below here, pop off. Oh, it's not. Pop off this panel right here, and then you can kind of like raise it up. And then what we're gonna use is through this grommet and put like another grommet like this and plug it into here, and then we can go into the panels. But so far that's what we're doing. Removing this, and then same thing, the longest one you want to use it for your for the rear doors, because what we're gonna do is put them through these trims right here, just like that, and down, and that's it. I don't want to go too crazy doing circles. Just keep it nice, modernized, and simple. Not to go very crazy on it. Same thing on the back doors. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. And let me go ahead and finish up the other side. Okay, so we have run everything already so far where they're supposed to be at. Like I said, I have two right here. I wish I could have just used one, bring it around here and then underneath here or something like that, or I don't know how I would have done it, but it would have been nice if I could have just used one. That way I could have used it somewhere up here, but I mean, it's fine. That way I don't have too much light up here, and just to keep it kind of simple. Like I've seen that they usually have them here on this area, and I guess one through here, but that's fine. No biggie. That, I guess, it's fine just doing it here. So what we're gonna do, you're gonna grab this thing right here, you're gonna put it in through this right here, and you're gonna make sure you leave I'd say about an inch overhang, and then kind of cut it, and then you'll get and just push it through here. It should be fairly easy. I already tried it before. And yeah, we're gonna run it all along here till we get back here. Same thing on the other side, and then we'll start to zip tie these things right here, so that way it looks kind of neat and not a mess. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so here we got two of these installed already. One thing I noticed is that these things are pretty damn loose. So if you were to push them, kind of comes right out. I don't know if you see that. So what I might end up doing, I'm thinking about putting like hot glue just the end of it, so that way it doesn't keep on coming out, and kind of hot gluing this area as well, so that way it stays in place. That's what I'm guessing of doing, and most likely do the same thing for the doors. So let's go ahead and put the rest of this stuff on, and then we'll get to the hot glue stuff and push this back in there. Alright guys, so right now that I'm driving, I was thinking about instead of doing a hot glue gun, what if you use some heat shrink? You know, you cut the ends, because there's like little slots where it kind of drop down whenever you're pushing this thing down. Maybe I can grab some heat shrink tubing, cut it to the size I want it, put it on the end of it as well, so that way it will shrink that and keep it from coming right back out. And where it connects to the LED, put some heat shrink right there, so that way it keeps it from moving. And all we have to do is kind of zip tie it, the wire to something, I guess, because you have two wires right here. We can kind of like zip tie it to this, so that way this doesn't move and it stays in place. So I think I'm gonna go that route. We're gonna use some heat shrink it right there, and maybe that'll keep it from moving. Now my biggest, well, it's not really a big problem, will be with the door panels. But I guess since if you try to push it, it won't be able to move, or maybe it will. So we'll see how we tackle that part. We might have to go with the hot glue gun on that one. So what we will do, we'll put hot glue gun on it first before we run in the cable, and then on the end where it connects to the LED, we will go ahead and put some heat shrink right there to keep it from actually backing out. Because that's the only thing I could think of, and I think that might be the best way to finish this thing up. So let's get this thing done. And also, like always, because I know it comes with that push in that you connect it to your cigarette lighter. I don't like that. I hate it. So what we're gonna take it apart, and we're gonna put an inline fuse. Well, we're gonna actually run the red wire over to the to the fuse panel, plug it in there, and then we're gonna go and put the negative to the same fuse panel, because we have negative slots right there we can plug it into as well, and call it a day. Because I don't like those cigarette lighter things. Plus, I kind of took that fuse that it has inside of there. It's a 3 amp fuse, just so you guys know, if you guys can do it the way I do it. It looks really old, and the material doesn't feel like glass. It feels like if it were plastic. So it's always not good to use the wiring that they send out to you. Like some things yes, but some things don't use them. So let's go ahead and do that. Now I'm running around without my starlight on, but whatever. So yeah, let's get this thing done. All right, there you go, guys. You see how I put that heat shrink tubing right there, and I put it over here as well. I just let it run a little bit further to the back and just heat shrink it right there. Shouldn't be no big deal, in which you're not going to see it because it's going to be behind these seats. Alright guys, so like I said, here we have it. We got both of them installed. The heat shrink on them. Same thing on this side. Heat shrink. So yeah, let's go ahead and do the door panels now. Like I said, I was going to use this grommet right here, which I took this one off, but we're going to use that right there. Run it through here, and then kind of like run it along this, and then into here as well. So let's see how that goes. Yeah, it should be fairly easy, you know. Unless I can like run it through here, make like a hole. I don't know, I kind of don't want to make holes to existing things, but we'll see what we do. All right, so we finally put this back in there together. As you can see, you can't even see this piece that goes all the way in here unless you lift this up. Then you can see that right there, but no biggie. And then same thing over here. Everything's tidy up. You see what I mean? So you have that cover right there to pop off, and then you have one in the back as well. And then you kind of pry this thing off with these panel things. And so yeah, we put that together already. We pre-wired this thing already, and we ran it right through the back right here, and we're gonna hook it up all inside there where we have our fuse box. And then over here we have these screws right here. They're plastic, so be careful with these. I use something small like this. I don't even know what this is. I think it's a T15. T15. You're gonna take off. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, you have 6 of those. You take them off. Then you pop this thing out right here, which is this right here. Is only like 2 clips that it got on holding on. You can actually pull that with your own fingers, or if you want to use one of these things, you can use that. And then you're gonna pop this thing out right here. You just open it. Like if you're gonna open up your door, put it in here, pops right out, or you can use the other side just to get a better pry. And then you have a Phillips screw right here. We're gonna take that out, and yeah, and you can pop this thing on. We can do this door as well. So let's go ahead and do that. I'll come back to the video. See? All right, so whenever you remove the door panel, you're gonna lift it up. This comes right off right here, and then you have this. So you try to pop this thing right out. It comes out fairly easy, and after that, you just disconnect this right here, and then we can go ahead and work on this. It looks like we're gonna come through. It looks like from here. I'm not even sure where it might come out through, but it looks like we're gonna come out through here because it looks like the grommet's right here, comes right through here. So let's see how this works. All right, I'll get back with you guys. All right, guys. So as you can see, I ran it through here. Wait, let me see if I can see it. I ran it through here. I put some protector right there, zip tied it right there, ran through here, and it follows up right there. So yeah. All right, we got this other door installed already. We have it all put back together. It's the same steps. This one I did, I ran a little bit more plastic inside, so that way I wouldn't have that. I'm gonna have to replace probably that one over there. But so far looks good. Put a little bit of hot glue in there, so that way it won't push back out. Put it back together. Now we move over here with the next one. And this one, usually when you do your first one, the next one's easy. So obviously you got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 of those push buttons right here. This one you pop it off from this corner right here, comes right off, and then you have another Phillips screw in here. Take that out, pop this thing up, remove the harness from there, and then what you're gonna do obviously is lift it up, and then we can go ahead and install from here. Obviously you can take this cover off, which I found it a lot more easier. Just put the, I'll do it right now if I do have the thing. Okay, I have it here with me. So you go ahead and put this right here, and then it should pop right out, just like that, and it makes things a lot more easier. Also, another thing I suggest you guys do, there's screws behind these things because this is kind of hard to get through. Just use a T15, you should pop that off easily, and then not take the whole thing out, just do one turn on each screw right along here, all on this side right here, so that way it's a lot more easier to push these things inside of there. So let's get to it.